What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from spending $50,000 a month on ads, building a big seven-figure coaching business with 3 closers, 2 setters, a couple CSMs, just a big bloated team with a big ad budget, high softwares, high expenses, to last month having my best profit month in almost a year and a half, which was more than my old yearly salary, and how you could implement some of these changes too. But really, most importantly, isn't any of that. It's actually the state and emotional place that I feel like I've personally been in, being able to run my business in a way where I actually don't need clients. So this is the first time in probably a year or two that I've been able to genuinely record a YouTube video with no motive behind it. Because what I used to have to do is I used to have to make content all the time, record stuff, had to make new videos to encourage people to book a call, and really needed to hit certain KPIs. But actually now I don't have any KPIs. I don't need to, because people are just wanting to work with me because of who I am and the energy that I'm carrying. And they're like, dude, I want what you have. And I don't know if you know this or not, or have noticed even, but coaching is changing. I've had so many 7-figure business owners reach out to me personally, and they're like, yo, Brandon, I'm doing 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K, whatever, 50K, and I'm miserable. I don't like where my business is at. I don't like how I feel. I feel like there has to be a better way, and I'm stuck and I'm burned out, not making a lot of profit, building my coaching business like an actual business, even though I can't sell it. And I'm not even making the cash flow that I got into this to make. I was making more at 30K a month than I am now at 100, right? Or I've got these setters and closer problems. They're always wanting me to get more leads, make, more content. And I feel like I'm a hamster. I'm burned out. I don't even like my business anymore. And honestly, I just got so used to it myself that I didn't realize, guys, that is not okay. And that's not normal. And you should view your clients in a way where it's actually a blessing for them to work with you and for you to work with them, not that they are an option to pay your bills, right? A lot of times when you get a new client, maybe if you've gotten a lot, you don't even view them as a person anymore. You just view it as oh, another 4K payment. But guys, that's not normal, and that's not okay. These are real people paying us a lot of money to get help. So we need to make sure we're giving them the best help possible. And one of the best ways to do that is to remove your attachment to them on paying your bills. So again, I've made a couple YouTube videos about this already, but I'm just gonna pull up my whiteboard and screen share a couple of the tweaks that I made and really just break down this past month and the few changes that we made that led to one of the highest profit months in several, months, probably 16 months, right? So I've been running a model that I'll explain here in just a sec once the screen pulls up. There's pros and cons to living in the country. So one of the cons is my internet sometimes is super fast and sometimes is pretty slow. But if you're not in my inner circle, you should definitely think about being in it, because this is the kind of stuff we're talking about all the time. But I'm going to break down really just the old way of doing things. And this is where I was for so long, and then the new way of doing things. And people in the hustle culture and content are guys, you need to work 60 hours a week. You need to, go all in and just hustle and grind and do all this stuff. But I actually made a post on Instagram the other day that I thought was really good. And it says this: open doors come from God, not hustling your way through them. Psalm 75:6-7 says this: promotion comes neither from the east nor the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He puts down one and puts up another. And basically what that means is God is the one who promotes us, not ourselves. So a lot of times we're chasing things that literally, if we just chase God, would come into our life if they were supposed to. And so I'm going to show you kind of the old model, and some of you guys have already seen this, but one of the old models is spending money on ads, right, to get leads or followers or members in your community, whatever funnel you're running, right? Spending money on ads to get leads, and then your setter goes in and hopefully books some calls. And then once you get some calls booked, hopefully they show up to the call. And then if they show up, 1 out of 3, if you have a good team, or 1 out of, 4 or 5, close. And so I was reading this book recently called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've read it before, but I went back and reread it. And one of his concepts was to get paid first, right? Like that's one of the main pillars that he talks about. And I realized that in this model, you actually get paid last, because a lot of people think that, this ends here, but it actually doesn't, because not only do you have to run ads to get leads, to have a setter talk to them and then book calls, and then hopefully some of them close if they show up, but then after that, you have to pay commissions to your team, and then you have other business expenses, right? Refunds, you've got softwares, you've got coaching programs, like you've got all this other stuff that you guys are paying for. And so at the very end of the whole journey, you're left over with maybe some profit, hopefully, right? And this is what like 90% of coaches are running right now. And I was like, there has to be a better way. Like this sucks. Like I've made 150K to 200K a month for like a year straight, 2 years straight. And there was months where I felt broke. And most people won't say that. Why? Because it's like you see all this money come in, and then you see 50K on ads, and then you see, 8K to your setters, like 20K to your closers, right? And then you've got CSMs, and then operations, and video editors, and then video filmers, and then you've got event planners, boom, 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 and then you look up and it's like, man, I'm getting paid last, and that sucks. So I was like, there has to be a better way. And so what I did was I wanted to increase a couple things: the MRR, the lifetime value, and decrease the cost of my expenses and my ads. And so I made a couple of key tweaks, but one of them was the type of funnel that I wanted to run. I wanted to run ads to a funnel that paid me, right? So what I did was I created a low-ticket funnel, right? I ran ads to a low-ticket funnel, and the cool thing is I'm spending right now, based on the numbers, about $50, right? Some weeks it's more, some weeks it's less. $50 to get a $58 average cart value sale of a low ticket, meaning I'm getting paid $8 to get a lead. Where in the past, I was actually losing money to get leads. And then not only that, I'm not paying $58 to get a lead, I'm paying $58 to get a buyer, which is so much more likely to actually respond to your messages and then want to work with you further in the future. So now I have offset the cost of my ads, which was like 30% of my expenses, right? So I just got a 30% pay increase to my bottom line, which is actually the only line that matters in a coaching business, which is your profit, right? And then you could have calls being set. Honestly, with this model, you could even ditch calls altogether and setting, but for the sake of the example, now you're getting free sales calls, and you're breaking even, or in some cases, making money before, right? You're paying yourself first, you ever go through this model. So this is like the top piece of the model. And then I actually was able to spend $8K last month on ads and do $120,000 cash collected, which is one of the best returns on ad spend that I've had in like 2 years or maybe ever. Why? Because I started to do it smarter, okay? And so whenever your expenses are lower, guess what? You get more profit at the end of the day. So what you want to do, the name of the game is you want to offset the cost of your ads, okay? Increase the quality of your prospects and decrease your expenses. That's how you do it smartly, right? But what most people do is they actually increase the cost of their ads, which in turn decreases the quality of leads, which increases the commission to your setter, increases the commission to your closer, and then increases your expenses, but decreases your profit. And so whether you know this or not, the whole thing that you're trying to do is twofold. Make impact, enjoy your business again, actually make content from abundance, and stop being so freaking desperate. Like there was times where I was literally hoping and praying I'd get another client to cover ad cost, right? And these are the conversations that maybe I never talked about because I didn't even realize they were there. But I'm talking about subconsciously. I realized like, oh my gosh, like I was actually thinking this way, feeling this way. And the only reason to stay in business as a coach, obviously you want to help people and all that good stuff, but is to profit. So let me just show you like two examples, right? So you could have a 220K month, let's say screenshot, right? And it looks cool and like you can post it on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Or you could have 120K a month screenshot, right? Or 50 or 20, whatever numbers you're thinking about. I'll do them smaller here in just a sec. But no one sees this. 25K in profit, right? They don't see that part. Or you could have this, right? Let's just say conservatively an 80K or 70K profit month, right? Like a lot of people right now, you don't realize it, but you're actually choosing this model because you're chasing revenue when you could be choosing this model and chasing profit. So I'll just like copy these numbers and like break them down for people who are like, man, you're talking like in numbers that are like way too big for me to understand. So let's just say 50K a month screenshot, right? 10K a month profit. Like the amount of people I know that do 50K revenue but profit 10K is crazy. Like it's a lot of people. Or you could do 35K, right? But then actually profit 25, right? And that's a lot of money. Like I know sometimes in the online space, like we hear all these big numbers, but I'm telling you, like this is awesome. And like you can do most stuff in life with a smaller amount of money than you think, right? Like think about it, 5K a month for like a nice house, right? If you want to live the luxury lifestyle, 5K a month for a supercar, which I think is like, I mean, it's not stupid, I want one, but depending on where you're at financially, right? So then you've got your house, you've got your car, 5K a month for more expenses, and you're still left over with 10K a month to invest in real estate, stocks, like all these different things to literally, you know, in like 5 years, right, become a millionaire if you play your cards right. But because you have your eyes set on a different vision, right, greed usually, or insecurity, or just chasing stuff just for the sake of chasing stuff, you actually lose sight of what's simple and, you know, more realistic to achieve, and start chasing something, you know, that people on the internet tell you to chase, which honestly doesn't even feel that good. Like I've been there, and I know 20, 30 other people who have been in that exact spot who will tell you it's not what you think it is, that this model is actually so much better, right? So there's a couple key things, you know, that need to be done to make all this happen. So again, I'm just going to give you another kind of graphic of what like a lot of people's business looks like is, and I'll start here on the bad side first, actually. So you've got your expenses, right? And every month in this model on the left, you start at zero. Okay, so you have like a record month in sales, like let's say you do 100K, okay, and then the next month, guess what? Your Stripe account or WAP account or whatever you use starts over, and you're at zero again. And then you have to try and top, right, your next month, and then literally start at zero. And then every month it feels like a rat race to like just chase money, which sucks. Like that's one of the stupidest things to chase is money. You should be putting out so much value that clients and money chase you, right? So now that your expenses, you know, are climbing and you've got all this stuff, you have to make like 15, 10, 20K, 5K a week just to break even. Guess what is the top here? Your profit. And guess what? Just like in the model above, you get paid last, okay? which sucks, right? Like that is not the lifestyle you want to live. Like I just had, our second kid, right? I want to actually be able to spend time with my kids. I want to be present, not wondering if we're going to be able to pay our team this month or pay our bills or, have to downgrade our lifestyle. Like that is not the way you want to live. So I'm going to show you a better model. So what I like personally is the model where there's actual, strategy and where and how the money moves, right? So if we were smart, all right, the goal would be to keep expenses low, okay? So almost any person I talk to, right, whenever I chat with them, there's a lot of ways to cut expenses. Like when is the last time you looked at how much money you're spending on food? When's the last time you looked at how much software you're running, how much you're spending on ads? Maybe you're spending money on ads that aren't even working, right? There's like probably a ton of expenses you could slash. How many team members do you have that you don't even need, right? So name of the game first is to slash expenses, okay? And then after we do that, what we want to do next is build out a recurring revenue model to cover your expenses, okay? And give you a little profit from MRR. So right now, I think my monthly recurring revenue is at like 35, 38K, and that's covering all my expenses and leaving me with profit. So while I used to start over every month at zero, now I literally start every month over knowing I've got 35K coming in, whether anything happens on top of it, right? So this is what happened last month, right? MRR, all my expenses were paid. So I had more peace, okay, than I've had in a very long time. And some of it's like, yeah, Brandon, you should just be trusting in the Lord. Well, practically, what if the Lord gave you wisdom to build something that's not super stressful, right? So it goes hand in hand. And the Lord even highlighted areas where like I wasn't trusting God, but he also highlighted areas and where I was building things the wrong way, right? So then now that all of your expenses are paid before the month even starts and your profit is baked in, any high ticket sale that you make on top of that literally goes straight to you, right? And straight to your profit, which most people that I talk to don't experience this and never get to experience this, right? So not only is this model smarter, more profitable, it's more simple, more enjoyable, and you actually start to love your business again, which is what everybody wants, right? So this is just me documenting my learnings in real time. And so I'll show you like a couple of the changes that I see happening with offers, and we'll wrap this up. So most of your clients and my clients, I realized, don't want, a coaching program or a course or a community for the sake of a community, right? So like before I had like Start, right? And then I had Scale, which, still exists, but I'll show you how it's changing. But I've realized I don't really resonate with this anymore. Like so many people think they need to scale, but in reality, maybe you don't. Like maybe you just need to be smarter and optimize what you currently have and steward it well and trust God with the increase, right? So what people are wanting in today's day and age where we've got AI, okay, we've got fear at an all-time high, trust at an all-time low, and competition at an all-time high, okay? So not only are there are a ton of offers for people, but you have to be smart in how you make your offers, right? So for me, what I decided to do was I created a proximity offer. And how that works is pretty simple. I'll just show you. So I have one offer now. It's called Inner Circle, okay? These are just the people that decided they want to be near me. And then there's 3 levels of access to Inner Circle. There's super tight, one-to-one coaching directly with me on Zoom, where you get my personal number. We do phone calls, Zoom, and I'm basically just like your business partner for a year. And we're super connected. This is for people who are like, dude, I just need help. I know what to do. I have money, all this cool stuff. Like, I just want you in my corner, right? And then I have people who are in a group plus proximity. So not only do they get the group and all of that, but they also get touch points with me personally, private Slack channel, audio calls, things like that, where I can help move the needle and push them forward. And then you have another tier, which is just a group offer, right? Where people come into the group, they get access to the course, the community, calls with me, and then proximity through chat in the Slack group or on group calls. They can ask me questions, right? So inside of this, there's a few different ways to create MRR. For instance, this offer is only joinable through recurring revenue. It's paid on a weekly basis, right? This offer is only joinable if paid in full, right? So now I have this unique model where I have high ticket coming in and I have recurring revenue, right? Same with the group. It's high ticket, right? And then after their time is up, it actually goes to an MRR model where people can stay in for a monthly, retainer, if you will, where people continue to pay me long term. And this is not only one of the simplest ways to do it, the best way to do it. So instead of having like 55 different offers, I would suggest just having one offer with different tiers of access. And I've found this work super good for me personally. It feels good. I've realized in coaching, people literally just want to talk to me. They want to have access to me. So it's like, if that's what you want, I would rather you get what you want than keep trying to, find other places. So really the whole point of this video is for you to make a decision, right? Like there's no point to keep living life the way you've been living life. Like there is a better way. So if you have any questions about how all this stuff works, totally reach out to me, right? I've had a lot of people DM me on Instagram, people, booking in calls straight from our YouTube channel. And yeah, I'm here to help. So again, if you're feeling stressed, you're like, man, bro, this is really speaking to me right now. Like, I feel like I'm called to do something different. I would say you probably are, right? And you can be who God's called you to be without having to try and force doors open yourself, right? And a lot of that looks like surrendering, laying stuff down, and trusting Him with the increase. But again, if this resonates, and you're like, dude, thank you, this helped, whatever, I would love to know just in the comments of this video or even a private message on Instagram or Skool, wherever you follow me. But again, I do have a couple spots for coaching with me in those 3 access levels. I have, I think, 2 available for the tight-knit community, one-to-one with me directly, a few more for the mid-tier, and then once those 2 are full, it's going straight to just group only, which would be something that's always joinable. But yeah, if you're interested in those, you can click the link down below. But again, I really hope this helped. And if you've got another coach, friend, buddy, whatever, who might be going through something similar, would appreciate if you shot them this video on, the model that's working best for me right now. So I love you guys. I'm thankful that, you would even watch this, right? Like there's so many people on the internet teaching you different things. Like you could watch 100 other people, but I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys and appreciate you. So again, thankful for you. We'll talk soon.